Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Season 5, Episode 1 of The Rundown. My name is Craig DeLuz. I'm coming to you from the West Coast, the left coast, behind the Iron Curtain, otherwise known as the Sierras. But as we all know, I do not do this program by myself. Unfortunately, sir, I am not getting your audio right now. I do not know what happened. Let me get you. Hold on. Let me come back over here to the audio thingy and see if I can get you plugged back in here. Go ahead and talk again. See if I got you.
How now, brown cow?
There you go. I got you, sir. I got you. Go for it.
You go. Hey, welcome back to Arms Room Radio. No, I'm just going there for the. Hey, welcome to the Rundown. My name is Mike Pirowarski, coming to you live from the East Coast. That's the coast with the most, from the coast with the most. Here on the Rundown, two-way views, conservative news, and Craig. Do we have Thursday music? I don't even know if we have Thursday. Do we have Thursday music?
As a matter of fact, we do.
We do.
Guess what day it is? Guess what day it is? Who's ready?
Throw punch Thursday, bitch.
Gotta love Throw Punch Thursday.
Yeah, I'm thinking that might be the theme for SHOT Show for us.
That might be the theme for SHOT Show. That actually sounds like quite the doable theme.
Yeah, I think that's what we're gonna do. I think that's what we're gonna do.
Excellent.
Yep.
Excellent, Mike. Well, you know, Mike, I gotta tell you, folks, I had a phenomenal time. I have to be honest. As much as I love doing this show, it was quite nice being able to take the afternoons off during the last little bit to be able to kind of, get my afternoon, I don't know, just kind of get it together. You know what I mean? Anyway, I've had a very good time, but I gotta admit, I am very, very happy to be back doing the show.
See, now Craig says you had a very good time having the time off, and I enjoyed the time off also. It's just Craig didn't let me know until about 5:30 we weren't doing the show every day, so I was waiting. I was there waiting every day, getting ready, and Craig's like, "I don't feel it today. Let's take the day off." I'm like, "Okay, all right." So I could have been doing something else, but okay. Yeah.
I gotta tell you, the hardest part is number one, there was like no news. I mean, trying to find something to talk about was a real pain. And then on top of that, trying to then, make that sound interesting. And the worst part is that you had the holidays both last week and this week, dead smack dab in the middle of the week.
It didn't make sense, right?
Yeah,
it didn't make sense because you had Monday, right? You had Monday, right? Then you got half day Tuesday because that was Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve, so that's half day, right? Then Wednesday was the holiday, so that was really like Saturday, right? And then that's done. So you come back the next day, which is Thursday, which is really Monday again, because you just the holiday's over now, right? But then you're like, well, crap, tomorrow's Friday though, so you only do half a day Friday, and it was just horrible. It was like I didn't know if it was Wednesday or Saturday all week long.
It made it so difficult to just kind of figure. And you're right, but every time you woke up on Thursday, like both Thursdays, I woke up and I'm like, okay, is today Monday? No, today's not Monday. And a lot of the folks, one of the things I will say is a lot of folks out there, they took off all last week and all this week. And at first my thought, the reason why I didn't just say, let's just cancel it all together from the very beginning was, well, this is maybe as an opportunity. People who are used to listening to stuff are going to be looking for new stuff to listen to, and maybe this is our shot. And then I realized why they took all the time off.
Yes, because of the holiday food and beverage festivals.
Yes, holiday food and beverage. I don't know if I had as much festivals as much as I had feasts.
Oh, you had festivals. There you go.
I had festivals. It was. Dude, I ain't gonna lie. I ate and drank so much. I discovered a new, I don't know, is it a whiskey or bourbon? I think it's a rye. Have you ever had Redbreast?
Yeah, once, but that was after getting the purple nurple.
Very funny, very funny. Anyway, I had that. We were actually watching the Arizona Texas game, which, by the way, so far has been the only really good game in the NCAA playoffs. But
what about the Hurricanes in Iowa?
Yeah. Anyway,
that game was like 104, 102 when it was over. It was...
Yeah, the playoffs. I didn't just say bowl games. We're teams that are with 5 wins get an actual bowl game.
Hey, no, the Hurricanes in Iowa were like in the top 15. So they have to be in the playoffs, don't they?
No, didn't make the playoffs. Iowa State. Let's clarify. Iowa State lost in the Big 12 championship to Arizona, who played in the playoffs. So
okay,
anyway,
I'll let you
good
go.
stuff.
I'm sorry. I don't really follow the college football, so yeah.
Anyway, had a great great time, but enjoyed some of that red breast. So I'm like, I came home and I told my wife, I was like, I was at the bar. Yeah, we just had a thing of red breast, and my wife was like, had a thing of what?
Yeah.
I said, it's a whiskey. It's a whiskey.
That's it. And it had a chaser, a big butt with it. Yeah. It
What'd you say, Jim Beam? What?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, Jim Beam, naked butt. Yeah.
Naked butt.
Yeah.
Anyway, man, good time was had. But I'm glad to be back on the show. And needless to say, the world did not disappoint when it came to giving us new stuff to talk about. So we're going to go ahead and get into that and get into all of the news and stuff today. But before we do, we got to do what we got to do, and that is pay the bills. And that starts with giving a quick shout out to our sponsors.
That's right. First, let's special partner with us is our good friends at Lion Arms. That's Lion Arms. LionArmsUSA.com. I always mess it up. I wanted to make sure I got it straight from the Lion Arms himself. The lion's right over here. He's right over here. The Lion Arms, LionArmsUSA.com. And if you go on the website and call them. It's Thursday, Craig. And if you call, Lion Arms USA today, they're going to give you a 20% discount. 20% discount. So that's off of guns.
You lying.
Yeah, he said I'm lying. He said I'm lying. I'm lying. You can't hide your lying eyes. Roar.
Good stuff. Roar. Good stuff. Folks, take a moment. Please visit our sponsors. They're the reason why we were able to come to you guys. So do us a favor. Follow them. All you got to do is follow the links in the description to this program. Go to their website. Check them out today. Spend some money with them. And make sure you tell them it was the guys over at the Rundown that sent you.
Yes.
Handle it. Also want to encourage you, if you haven't already done so, please make sure like, share, subscribe. However you partake of the program, encourage your friends to do the same. It's a new year. They're looking for a new program. This is the place to be. The Rundown, where we're talking about 2A news, conservative views, and we're doing it from a very casual perspective. As you can tell, Mike and his cigar and me and my beverages, we're having a good time talking about the news and the topics of the day.
I'm not wearing pants. That's how relaxed I am.
Mike never wears pants. Shorts, right. Maybe.
I just Winnie the Pooh it all around here all the time. Just a shirt, no pants. Just Winnie the Pooh.
Just a shirt, no pants. No, thank you. No, thank you. By the way, folks, just want to remind you, the big week is coming up. SHOT Show 2025 in Las Vegas. It is going to be the 20th through the 24th. We will be coming at you from Las Vegas. Would love to encourage y'all. Come on out. If you can get there, come on out. We would love to hang out with you. Love to spend some time with you at the Circle Bar. That would be a fun time. Also, we're going to have a fun event that's going to take place on Monday evening at the Hofbrau House. You'll get a chance to meet some of our sponsors, because many of them will be there, as well as some of the sponsors of the event themselves. Yes, you definitely want to be there in order to hang out with Magnet and the folks over there from Lion Arms.
Lion Arms will be there.
I believe Hitman Industries will be there as well.
Hitman will be there. Next Level Training, and our good friends at Imperium Strategic.
Ooh, very nice, very nice.
Yeah.
By the way, Mike, I got
Yes.
my new training pistol from Next Level Training.
Very
I
nice.
always love it. You see mine. You see my the first one I bought back here.
Yeah.
Love that thing. It is phenomenal. But as I was telling Mike, it didn't have a thing for an optic. Well, guess what? It's ready. It came ready. So now I'm like, I've got it all set up now, and I'm doing my dry fire training. It is phenomenal, folks. If you have not purchased one of these from Next Level Training, let me tell you, first of all, it will save you a lot of money in ammo at the at the range. But the most important thing is that it will make you a better shot. It will definitely help you get on target faster, be more accurate, be better with your draw. Trust me, you got to get one of these. You definitely have to get one. I swear by it.
Listen, it's a learned skill. It's a muscle memory thing. It's like playing golf or sports or anything. You're bowling. You've got to do it consistently to stay good and stay at the top of your game, right? Well, I've neglected that over the past 6-8 months because of work, but I've not been shooting or doing any competitions. All I had was my CERT trainer, and you guys see it when I'm at home, sitting right behind me. It's all I've been shooting. And I went and did the competition 2 weeks ago, took second place with the first overall best time. So
crushed it.
Yeah.
Crushed it. Anyway, but folks, like I said, got to check it out. You should always be training. You should always be preparing. And this is a great way to be able to do it without having to go to the range. And once again, without having to drop a whole lot of money on ammo.
That's right.
Just saying.
That's right.
All right, let's go ahead and get into today's program. As you know,
Why don't you put on the headsets and listen? Second headset.
you knew what was going to happen. You knew that they could not just let the year come in and just be a normal year. You knew that the enemies of America and freedom were going to have something to say. And sure enough, it started off in New Orleans. It started off where an individual, a former, I don't even want to call him a veteran, but this is a guy who was in the military. We'll just call him that. Anyway, basically inspired by ISIS, decided that he was going to engage in a vehicle attack of all things. Decided that he was going to go down Bourbon Street and try and plow some folks down. I got some raw video here that I was able to pull from X that I will show it to you. It's not really detailed, but just in case, I will give a trigger warning for those of you who need a trigger warning. Of course, usually if you're watching this show, you're not a person who's in need of a trigger warning. But check these out real quick. Okay, that's where I meant to play that one second. There's the first one. So here you got the guy, they're pointing out the truck. And then just takes off down the street. Anyway, the interesting thing about this whole thing, Mike, was in the very beginning, they didn't know what they didn't know. And the thing that I didn't understand from the whole thing, anyway, what they've now done is now they've determined, okay, they start off by saying, well, this is not a terrorist attack. In fact, let me play with you play for you the video from the press conference where at the very beginning they're saying this was not a terrorist attack.
Patrick said we'll be taking over the investigative lead for this event. This is not a terrorist event. What it is right now is their improvised explosive devices that was found, and we are working on confirming if it's a viable device or not. As Chief Kirkpatrick said, we're asking everyone to stay away from Bourbon Street, specifically from Canal Street to St. Anne. That is my ask. Once again, stay away from Bourbon Street, Canal Street, all the way to St. Anne until we can figure out what is going on. Our goal is to provide you additional information at the 11 a.m. press conference.
Oh, and the rest of it. So just a couple of things to note. Number one, it's the very beginning of the investigation. One would think that you would say, we do not know if it is a terrorist event. Because I'm assuming that if you had seen any of the video, you know the dude had an ISIS flag on the back of his truck, number one. Number two, you would just say, I don't know. We don't know that it is. Number two, I believe the term is specifically, not pacifically. But But anyway, what we now know though is that they found a hotel room that apparently is linked to this guy, or in the not hotel room, in Airbnb there were actually cell phones that were linked to the individual who was involved in this attack. And they did also find bomb making material. But they did make it very clear to note that they still do not believe that there was anyone else that was involved in this. Mike, once again, I'm looking at this whole thing, and I know that a lot of people are trying to make this about immigration and all of that. They're like, oh, well, which, by the way, having a porous border does make it possible for stuff like this to happen. But I'm just kind of frustrated with how they seem, the Biden administration and how the FBI seems to go out of their way to try and say, oh no, it's not a terrorist attack. It's not a terrorist attack. I'm like, well, it may not be a coordinated attack with a bunch of people, but that doesn't mean it's not a terrorist attack.
So I want to discuss that with you in detail, but I will say this as an English minor, that it's acceptable to say pacifically rather than specifically in certain circumstances. One of them is, Greg, if you say something like, Pacifically, I went off the coast of California.
That's not what I think she meant, though.
No, but it is, it is properly. So that's always a good bar trick right there. Terrorism is defined as an act of violence by an individual or a group of individuals designed to place fear into an organization or a government to have them change their policies. That's what terrorism is. Okay. This is, by definition, an act of terrorism. He was making a political statement, trying to get them to change political policy to follow the lines of ISIS. Where a lot of people, including this clearly, let's say, not well educated on the topic woman that we just saw, is clearly an act of terrorism. What many people do is make the mistake of terrorism is only foreign people or foreigners that come here to do acts of violence. We have terrorism that originates outside, terrorism from foreigners inside this country, and terrorism from homegrown people that become terrorists or become radicalized for terrorism. So this is definitely an act of terrorism. And you're right. If she didn't know, she should have said she didn't know. We'll have more information for you at the 11 a.m. briefing. That's what she should have said. Here's the issue, and I put the blame in this for this squarely on former President Obama and current President Biden. Obama pulled out of Iraq, leaving the void and the gap there, which created ISIS. Turned his back on that country, turned his back on the people that we promised to provide aid and help them reestablish their country, and ISIS formed because of that. President Biden, because he pulled out of Afghanistan in the middle of the night, which again led more people, more ISIS fighters to come from Iraq and Iran into Afghanistan to fight coalition forces that were there because it's the only place they were left. When they left there in the middle of the night and they turned their backs on our allies, many of our allies then became our enemies. The same thing happened to, if you recall, a guy named Osama bin Laden. We'd been helping him during the Russian war with the Mujahideen. We turned our backs on them. He became radicalized against us. And that's how we entered into these wars. Presidents Biden, Presidents Obama turned their backs on people that needed their help and we promised help to, and this becomes radicalized. Why else, Craig, might you ask? Because this guy could get radicalized up to a certain point on the internet, finding out all about these things. But it takes, and they're going to find this out, it takes individuals to come and meet with that person and study with that person and give them the fatwa and give him the jihad to get him radicalized. And those people, Craig, I guarantee you, came across the southern border to meet this gentleman and radicalize him. That will be coming out. Probably be January 20th before we hear that kind of information, but that will be coming out.
Well, you don't think that maybe these conversations could have taken place online, could have been via video chat or things like that, where they're doing it from wherever they're at?
Oh yeah, we'll do the old Zoom call. We'll just have a little Teams meeting. Nobody's listening to those meetings at all. We're talking about radicalizing and destroying and killing people. Yeah.
This is the Obama Biden FBI we're talking about.
Yeah, true. They might have used Obama phones, and we all know you can't break security on an Obama phone. So Obama iPhone.
Well, the other thing that really gets me is the conversation, and there are a lot of people who, I guess there needs to be a happy medium when it comes to talking about Islam and terrorism, and that I think that there are people on two extremes. There are people who think that, well, all people who are Muslim are terrorists, or at least in their rhetoric and their online rhetoric that way. And then you have some people who want to talk as if, well, them being Muslim this guy being Muslim had absolutely nothing to do with the being involved in terrorism. The worst part is that in a day and age like this, we can't have the intellectual integrity to be able to talk about it from the perspective of, look, not all Muslims are terrorists, but there are a significant number of terrorists who are Muslim. What role does one's faith play in their desire or their willingness to engage in acts like this? Why can't we have that conversation and not be racist for having that conversation? Or why can we have that conversation and not take it to the extreme that all people who fit in this category are potential terrorists?
Well, you and I can, Craig, and those of us that sit on this side of the aisle can. Again, this is more of media manipulation. This is more of controlling the message coming from the current administration. They want to leave right now and look like they left it with a clean slate, and anything that happens from this point on is Trump's fault. They'll probably blame this on Trump because he got elected, and so that's why these things occurred. Did you notice Biden came on and did a big press conference and did a big healing the nation on this? Can you recall any time else in the previous 4 years he's done that, Craig?
No, not at all. And
Nope.
And once again, the refusal of a Democrat administration to point out radical Islam, and that's one of the things that I think even Republicans have taken. They're like, look, we're willing to say that there are that most people who are of the Islamic faith are not terrorists, but some people take it literally and they do engage in actual terrorism, and so they're willing to call them radical Islamic terrorists. But they're not even willing to call it. I say, well, okay, well, yeah, they're Islamic, but maybe they're just radical.
Yeah. And the other thing I'd like to see here, and the media is playing this up because they're trying to get you to that, Muslim terrorist thing now, right? Is Can we start calling this guy by his real name? Can we do that instead of the made up name that he created for himself?
Yeah. How about that?
Yeah.
How about we do that?
Yeah.
Interesting stuff. But folks, you know what? Here's the thing. That wasn't the only thing that happened. For those of you who are anti-Cybertruck, the one that looks like the shop vac thingy, the mini, like little mini handheld shop vac thingy. Well, outside of a Trump hotel there in Las Vegas, there was another incident. And in this particular one, you had a vehicle that actually wound up catching fire. Let me see if I can find the video here. Now this is the video of what happened right here.
Copy.
So as you can see, the thing just kind of blew up. And here's a report from Fox News kind of about the aftermath.
The vehicle fire. And so there's going to be a drone video that plays to my left again. You'll see the fire initially, they covered it with the tarp to try to get it to go out. Once the fire went out through the suppression efforts of the fire department, you'll see some of the evidence in the back of the vehicle. So those are gasoline canisters. They are camp fuel canisters and large firework mortars.
All right, now.
What I also would like you to pay attention to on that video, as you see that, it looks like the exterior of that truck is completely intact as it sits there. The fact that this was a Cybertruck really limited the damage that occurred inside of the valet because it had most of the blast go up through the truck and out. In fact, if you look on that video, you'll see that the front glass doors at the Trump hotel were not even broken by that blast, which they were parked directly in front of. You can see that in the video there.
All right. Now, apparently, this was once again a former soldier. Turns out it appears he had taken his own life. They found him I think he was in the vehicle. He had there was a firearm that was there, and it appeared to be already be dead from a gunshot wound to the head, self-inflicted, as they had pointed out. But Mike, once again, I think we're going to get more information in regards to what's going on here, but I'm like, the crazies just could not let 2025 just come in and be a year.
Yeah, I actually just sent you a couple of pictures from that location. We can bring them up if you want to. Here's the issue. Listen, they do this in front of Trump building there. It's the Trump Hotel. I don't think it's the Trump International. It's just Trump Hotel. But these are people that are, now radicalized, that have been radicalized against, what Trump's the new president. Why not do it against Trump? If there was a Biden hotel, maybe this guy would have done it against Biden. I don't know that this guy suffers from. It's the same place. I was there for that's where I spent the President Trump's first inauguration. Was there in front of that hotel, standing right there. Actually, inside eating breakfast is where we were. So remember, it was 9 a.m. Pacific time. Pacific time.
It was specifically Pacific time.
9 a.m. It was noon back on the East Coast, 9 a.m. on the West Coast. So we sat there having breakfast in the Trump Hotel during the inauguration. And you know what I had? I had Corona for breakfast because we weren't sure if he was going to throw Mexican beer out of the country too. We wanted to get it. I got pictures of the beer. I'm not lying. So this is against the government. This is against that's his name. Listen, if there had been a White House embassy there or a government federal building there, it would have happened there. This is somebody who was probably turned against the U.S. government because he watched what the U.S. government did to Iraqis and Afghanis that we promised to help and care, and then we abandoned. I mean, you've radicalized because of what our own government does. Same as the last guy.
Well, and that's the one of the things that I think has been one of the saddest stories about the pullout of Afghanistan is not just, yes, there was the death of the 13 American soldiers, but then there was also the fact that we left literally thousands of people who we promised, that people that helped us, people who assisted us, aided us, and in many cases saved the lives and protected many American servicemen. And we just left them hanging. We told them, we had your back. We'll take care of you. We'll protect you. We'll work on getting you, into the U.S., whatever. We'll provide you whatever protection. And we just left them. Anyway, it is beyond frustrating. And by the way, that is the legacy of Joe Biden.
That's exactly right. And President Obama did it in Iraq. Let's not forget.
Yes. President Obama did the exact same thing in Iraq. And it's, once again, and I don't think anyone disagrees that there was a time to remove troops from Afghanistan. No one disagrees with that, but how they did it and when they did it was the problem.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, let's not forget with that explosive there was probably the lithium batteries going off with a little, if you add water to those batteries, they're going to explode, whether, if they put fuel on it or not.
Well, the interesting thing though is that those were actually, I think, the fireworks, because when you look at the lithium batteries, this is what's really interesting is if you actually look at, and there was another video that was on X where they compared that fire to the one where a Prius caught fire. The lithium batteries are actually underneath the bottom. And
right.
Yeah, when those things catch fire, they're almost impossible to put out. But what I thought was funny is the Cybertruck, as ugly as it is, it was so well made, the explosion basically barely got out of the bed of the truck.
There you go. Let's get yourself a Tesla. And that T on the back stands for Trump, just so you know.
Why did it have to be such an ugly vehicle, though?
Oh, that's horrible. I was actually alongside one today in Daytona Beach here and just kept looking at it. And the guy driving it was like, "You like it?" And I'm like, "Dude, it's like driving a dumpster down the road. What are you doing?" It's just horrible. I like Tesla. I like what he's done.
It does look like a dumpster. Story I skipped, and I wanted to make sure we got back to it. This one we will file in the irony category. There was evidently a gun buyback or an gun exchange that took place there in New Orleans. You know, because the guy, by the way, didn't just drive through the crowd. He actually also got into a firefight with law enforcement, which is in the end how we would wind up getting taken down. New Orleans offered PS5s in exchange for guns day before attack to boost, quote, public safety.
What?
Yes. Now, a PS5. I'm like, and once again, the dumbest thing about all of these things is it's like, first of all, Mike, you and I know we've already done. There have been dozens of reports by liberals, conservatives, by even anti-gun groups that say gun buybacks do absolutely nothing except reward people for handing in crap guns.
Yeah, exactly right. Like, here's my $25 Raven pistol. What do I get? Oh, a $300. I don't even know how much PS5 costs, but I know it's more than $25. So
a lot more than $25.
I had a conversation with somebody concerning the New Orleans incident, and they said they don't know what they could have done to secure the place better. One, it's come out that there was many security infrastructure, physical infrastructure items that were not there. There was some construction going on. They took the bollards away. They took the barricades away. That's why the police car was parked there in front of that alley. But you saw the guy in the truck go around the police car, no problem. And my comment was, well, if they allow these people to carry, in the city there, because remember New Orleans wants special rules for carrying firearms. If they allow them to carry in the city, this might have prevented it. And they're like, well, how can a vehicle how can a firearm protect you from a vehicle? I'm like, okay, all right, let me back up for a second here. I forget I'm one of the few people that has actually, know what it does when you shoot a firearm at a windshield through a driver or through an engine block or at tires when they're coming at you with an IED. Kind of got that training. Kind of have that merit badge. So it's definitely something that would not have hurt the situation. We'll say that.
And by the way, there is such training available for civilians. There are firearms instructors who do all sorts of training, and yes, It includes urban combat tactics. Right. Phenomenal if you ever get a chance to attend one of those classes.
That's right.
So you too can be prepared to take out a terrorist in New Orleans.
That's right. Exactly right.
Although I'm wondering why they didn't go to their usual standard and say, we're just going to ban all trucks.
I was waiting for Biden to say that. When he started in on there and he started talking about the evil and the tool that was used, I'm like, go ahead, say it. Say there's going to be a assault truck ban. Say it.
Assault truck ban.
Yeah.
Oh, good stuff.
All
right, moving right along.
The size of the gas tanks to standard gas tank size. No high capacity gas tanks.
No high capacity. And they're also going to now ban Tesla trucks as well.
Yes. Well,
or just Teslas in general.
Yeah. It's because Elon's now like co-president, so they hate him now too.
Last week, the last show, I actually is one of the things that said people who are angry that Elon is controlling Trump are the same people who are controlling Biden.
Exactly right.
Fun stuff. All right, one last story here. Mike Johnson, Speaker of the House, he's coming up for re-election, and he's getting when I say re-election, I mean getting re-elected to be Speaker of the House. And Mike Johnson is fighting to retain his speakership gavel, but he's doing so with the help of Donald Trump. Now, why is this significant, you say? Well, because Donald Trump also came out and was completely against the spending plan that was approved by Mike Johnson, had major problems with it. He had major problems, not because Elon Musk had problems with it, but Elon Musk definitely, the head of Doge, definitely pointed out that there were some concerns with it. But what I think and what I like about this move is this. This is a level of political maturity, I think, on the side of Donald Trump to recognize this. You know what? The job of Mike Johnson is different than the job of Donald Trump. Donald Trump sets the standard. Mike Johnson's job is to get it as close as he can in the House of Representatives, just like I guess now I forget who the new majority or minority leader, majority leader I think is going to be in the Senate. I think it's Thune. Yes, Thune. Just like it's going to be his job. And I think he recognizes that really your job as the speaker is to be a deal maker. And he knows he didn't like this deal. But I don't believe that Mike Johnson would have went forward to try and get that deal approved without the okay from Donald Trump in the White House. So I think this is Donald Trump playing both sides against the middle and recognizing, yes, I don't like that spending package. Yes, I still want you to be speaker.
Yeah, and listen, I like Mike Johnson. We had this discussion a couple of times where I was all for him, and you were a little timid at first. You had to be convinced, but I think what his performance has been over the last 2 years has been, a year and a half, been pretty spectacular. What he's done in there.
It wasn't so much that I was against him. It was he's doing the same thing. McCarthy would have been doing the same exact thing if he were speaker. The idea of getting rid of McCarthy for Johnson when you didn't have the votes already lined up was dumb. Having said that, I do like the idea of having somebody who ideologically is closer to where we are negotiating these deals than someone who has a history, or at least seems to be someone who's willing to negotiate away the farm. I don't think Mike Johnson's that type of guy. I don't think he's going to negotiate away the farm the way McCarthy would have.
Yeah, McCarthy was a what's best for McCarthy kind of guy. That's what he was, and Johnson is what's best for the party and what's best for the country.
Exactly, and it's as I tell some of my folks who are mad at him about that plan, I was like, look, you trusted him and his values. There's information that he is privy to that we're not privy to. At a certain point, unless you have instance after instance after instance where he has quote unquote sold out, cut him some slack. At least give him the benefit of the doubt to a degree.
Yeah, but we got burnt a bunch of times, and I'll give you once or twice. That's it.
Well, exactly, and then that's the thing. I'm not. McCarthy was the person who would do most of that burning. Right now so far, he's still got a few lives left. I think the other thing to recognize, when I say he, I mean Mike Johnson. The other thing that I think we need to be careful of is we don't want to have a replay of what happened 2 years ago where we went weeks without a speaker. I mean, Donald Trump only has so much time, right, before he becomes a lame duck. It's vitally important that we get his agenda moving now.
Yeah, agreed. But that delay before only made Mike Johnson more powerful when he took over.
Well, yes, because people don't want to see that sort of stuff happen. They don't want to see that happen again.
That's
but
right.
Once again, what I don't want to see is I don't want to see him screw it up. And you got some people, man, who no matter what, and here's the problem. When you only have a 1-seat majority, you have some people who are going to disagree with everything, right? And at a certain point, I'm like, look, you guys, he can't afford to lose votes. When you have a big majority, you can afford to lose votes.
Yeah.
But at a certain point, you got to have a majority of votes to get the thing passed, not just majority within your caucus, because you need just about everybody in your caucus.
Right.
But if you lose 1 or 2 people in your caucus, then you got to go get Democrats. And if you got to go get Democrats, you're going to give up more. And that's what happened, in my opinion, in that spending bill, was you had some Republicans who were absolutely positively not going to get behind it. And so he went to Democrats to get a deal. And I wish he hadn't. I don't like the deal. There's some stuff in there that I didn't like. But having said that, I understand why he did what he did.
There we go.
Yeah.
Well said.
Politics.
Anyway.
Politics. There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, folks. Well, that brings us to our parting shots. Parting shots are brought to you by Hog Holsters. Just go to hogholsters.com. Use the discount code The Rundown, all caps, no spaces, and get your hog holster today. Let's see here. Oh, so New Year's Eve is always fun because you get a chance to see all of the the fanfare and all of that in New York. Well, on CNN, you actually had an instance where they had a comedian.
She's awesome.
She decided that she was just going to keep it real about CNN and was completely and utterly shocked that they did not take her off. Check it out.
Was forced on us so hard you'd think she was patented by Pfizer or Moderna, whichever one's. Oh God, Andy just gave me a very scary look.
No.
Let me be clear though. 2024 was not only negative. The media wants us to believe this country is so divided, but we actually came together a lot this year. Like as a nation, we unanimously agreed that we would rather see J-Lo in a toxic relationship than in concert. We all agree the government totally knows what drones are and are telling us. The drones are still up there, and we have no idea what's behind them. No idea. I mean, they're still up in the sky, so I guess we can rule out that they were made by Boeing. The point is, I think we all agree on a lot of things. And since I only have a minute left live on Establishment Media, why don't we just say a bunch of things that we know that they'll never cover? Okay, ready, go. Trump Jr. didn't have any silverware in his house. No one thought that was weird? Are we still rolling? Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia put money into Disney, so just know there won't be any girl characters in the next Cars movie. Are we still rolling? This is wild. Why have so many presidents' chefs died? Weird. Boy Scout of America, they renamed itself Scouting America. You know who else changed their name? Sean Combs. Just saying. Let's learn something in 2025. I can't believe you guys are still letting me go. This is amazing. I love CNN. Please stop me, Andy, because I will just...
Okay, I thought the only problem with that clip was that they cut off the very beginning where she was talking about how they tried to push Kamala Harris on us as if she was sponsored by Pfizer or Moderna.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Listen, I love Whitney Cummings. I mean, like, literally, like, Whitney, give me a call. We're set for life. I'll take care of you. We're good. She's amazing. And, listen, she's obviously conservative, which just makes her even better, right?
There you go. And it was funny because I think the reason why dude looked at her kind of funny because they're like, we get a lot of money from Pfizer.
Yeah. And realistically, Craig, I think what it came down to is they let her continue to go because only like 18 people are watching CNN. I mean,
well, yeah, she actually did that was one of her earlier comments that it was like, yeah, something like 33 people are watching, which is, about as many people as work it as are watching right now.
Yeah.
Anyway, also we have on here, we have a plea from the FBI, and this plea is actually coming to us by way of the Babylon Bee, fake news that you can count on. FBI asks ex-users to stop solving crimes before they do.
Yeah, you can't do that. You're just making them look bad. Yeah.
Exactly. And the other problem that I think that Elon Musk is going to have to rethink his Cybertruck because it got a bad rating. According to, Tesla Cybertruck voted worst vehicle by National Association of Terrorist Car Bombers.
There's a commercial. We'll have to pull it up for tomorrow. I think it was like a Toyota commercial from Europe, and a bomber. Clearly, they got a typical dressed bomber with the S vest on, and he's holding the clicker and everything, and he's in there, and he pulls up in front of the place, and he clicks it, and there's a giant explosion in the car, and the car doesn't get any damage at all outside. So that's what this reminded me of. I'll have to send you that one. Yeah,
that's actually pretty much what happened here.
Yeah.
Good stuff. All right, folks. Well, hey, that's just about it. But before we go, we got one more quick shout out to our sponsors.
That's right. Ooh, look at the time. We're running late. Hitman Industries, hitmanindustries.net. Go there. Get yourself a barrel. They got rifle barrels, pistol barrels, any caliber you want, any length you want for your next AR build or your AR replatforming your current AR system. California Republican Assembly fighting a good fight behind enemy lines. Now you can take part in California's future today. If you want the best in field gear, tactical gear, whether you be law enforcement, medical, civilian, or security, get there. They've got everything you want except the gun. And of course, go to Lion Arms, lionarmsusa.com, lionarmsusa.com. 20% off. Find their phone number, call them. They're going to give you 20% off. That's firearms, custom firearms from lionarmsusa.com.
He ain't lying. I mean, he's lying, but he ain't lying.
But he ain't lying, yeah.
He's lying, but he ain't lying.
There you go.
All right, folks. Well, that's going to be it for today's program. We very much appreciate you tuning in. We appreciate you liking and sharing the program and encouraging your friends to do the same. We'll be back tomorrow on Free for All Friday. Till then, y'all have fun. Stay safe and make sure to send a few downrange. We will holler at you mañana.